Hey, what's up people? This week I won't be trying out any food. What I will be doing is actually sharing with you all some entries from a diary that I wrote in when I was, I think, mostly in high school here. I got this idea from watching Carrie Rad on YouTube. It's really cool to be able to look back on yourself when you're younger and reflect now and see what I was feeling at that time and how I'm different of a person. And I also wanted to use this as a way to share some things I wish I would have known when I was in high school. I wrote in this in 2006, so 10 years ago, actually October 30th, 2006. Please do not read unless permission. A+ for grammar. Hey, diary. Well, my name is Amber Rosario. I'm 5 feet and 8 inches tall. It sucks. You guys, I'm 5'11" now. I'm Black and Puerto Rican. As you can see, I'm turning 14 on the 23rd of November. This year it's on Thanksgiving like it happens every 4 years. And I was born on Thanksgiving. I don't actually think I was. My mom actually isn't sure, but that's just what I've been telling people my whole life. It was either the day before Thanksgiving or the day after, or actually the day of Thanksgiving, but she doesn't really know. So I go to El Camino High School. I will graduate in 2010. If you wonder why I'm writing like this, it's because if my children or parents or family or anybody sees it, they will know a lot about me. One thing about myself I will say, I am always a very internal thinker and a scenario thinker, so I think about future. So that's why I wrote this, because I figured maybe one day in the future, if a natural disaster happens or the world ends and someone happens to find my journal, then they'll know a little bit about me and humankind. I don't know if me and my poor grammar are the best explanation of that, but you know. All right. I live in California. I love it, the sun and everything, but there's a lot of drama, especially in MLK. That's when I was in middle school, of course. But yeah, I'm in the 9th grade and it's cool. But a lot of my friends left the group. But me, Jakia, Rochelle, I think this will last for a while. Me and Rochelle have been friends since the 5th grade. What's so funny about this is that, I don't know if you can tell, in little blue writing, I went back. I don't know when I did this, but I wrote, lasted halfway through the year, ha ha ha. That's one thing I want to say. One thing I wish I knew back in high school is that those friendships, those relationships, those interactions are not permanent, and very rarely do they last. One person, my friend Robin, we have been friends since middle school. Me and her have been friends, like real friends, like I talk to her, I go visit her house, real hardcore friends since middle school. That's about the only person, except for one other guy I met in high school. We're kind of friends. I don't know how to explain it, but he's one of the longest standing relationships from that time in my life that I have. Cherish them, they're fun, you know, use them and fully interpret them while you're in those relationships, but understand they're just a small portion of your life. So small, so small. We met in Mr. Harrington's class. Mr. Harrington did not like me, and I actually see him around from time to time riding his bike, but I don't think he remembers me. Anyways, but I got switched out of the class, but we're fine, we're still friends. We've been through a lot, but we work through it. She is like my sister, and my parents wonder why I'm at her house so much, because I only have an older brother, and you know, he doesn't talk to me, but at school every day, everyone calls me Nelson. I'll get back to that later. And it's annoying because I look like him. Hey, but I will talk to you all tomorrow, or whenever I write to you again. Later, goodbye. Okay, let's move on to the second entry. This is on November 5th, 2006, so maybe what, like a week and a half, 2 weeks later? Dear diary, yesterday was my high school homecoming. It was so much fun. It was like a club. The whole gym was full before the whole line was in. It was cool. We were all dancing. Me, Rochelle, Jakia, Jasmine. Well, Jakia wasn't dancing that much. She was more like 1-2 step in. Why did I write that? You guys, Jakia was one of my friends who was more shy at the time. So that's probably why I felt the need to write it. I don't know. Jakia shout out to you, girl. I know you're not as shy as you were back then, and I'm sure you can do more than 1-2 step, but you know. But things were kind of awkward, and my brother and his friends, especially Perry, made things awkward. But you know, that was a night to remember. Our first homecoming ever. But yeah, I will write to y'all later. I'm going to church. I guess what I can take away from this diary entry is number 2. No one's personality stays the same from when they're in high school. My friend Jakia was shy in high school, and we did remain in contact a little bit when she went to college, and I still am friends with her on Facebook now, and I can tell just from what I see is that she has become more of herself. And I don't know, she could still be shy, but she's not the same person who was, you know, more shy as she was in high school. And I'm speaking for her, but I think she would agree. I can speak personally for myself. I'm definitely not the same person that I was when I was in high school. So you may be shy in 1-2-stepping at a dance, but later in your life, you are gonna own the whole club, all right? Okay. Oh, and look, here's the next page. It's actually the pamphlet from my homecoming dance. Wow, look at that. Homecoming. This is my homecoming little pamphlet. Funnest day of my life. As you can see, I chimed back in here with my blue pen and wrote, yeah, right. Yeah, homecoming was not the best part of my life. My life has changed. My life has progressed. There have been new best times in my life. But apparently on this day in 2006, my homecoming dance was the funnest day of my life. Wow. All right. The next entry is in 2009. Well, I'm back after almost 3 years. I am now a junior in high school, and it's okay. I want to get straight to it. I'm not happy with my life, and I have no one to blame but myself. Every time something good is going to happen, I ruin it because I get nervous and I ignore people. And I have no life because I don't try and meet new people and embrace my friends. I always say I'm going to make myself known and my own person. But if anything, I'm going further into the shadow of my brother. And I don't know how to live. I don't know how to get out. Wow, this is extremely deep. 3 years, you can see a lot has changed. I just feel that I'm not happy with myself, and that's my fault. I'm not completely antisocial, but I feel like I'm living a lie, and I feel like I am fading away, like I am a deteriorating shell of the person I used to be. I don't enjoy lunchtime, and I'm not my old self. I'm not my old social, wild, and crazy self. I don't know what to do, but I will change. At the basketball game last night, it sickened me because I saw all those people with their friends, and some of my friends were there, but everybody looked social, and I was with my parents, and after the game, everybody was all friendly, you know, with their friends, and I went home with my parents. I am a loser. It almost makes me emotional reading it, because it's such a sharp turn from, you know, funnest night of my life to I don't like my life. And looking back on it right now, I don't remember having those feelings that vividly, but apparently I'm happy I wrote this because I did. The third thing that I wish I knew in high school from reflecting back on my third diary entry is that you are just starting to live your life when you're in high school, and you're gonna be very prone to comparing your life to other people's. As you can see here, for me, social anxiety started to form, and I felt, you know, that I couldn't fully express myself, and I also felt as though my life wasn't as eventful because I wasn't always out with my friends and I wasn't always doing this. Obviously here I was comparing myself, and one of the major things, I compared myself to my brother. Now my brother was the football player, the basketball player, the track and field star, all of those things. And like I said in this journal entry, I always got called Nelson. I didn't even get called my own name. I didn't even get called Rosario, which is my last name. They just called me Nelson by my brother's name. And for a long time, I remember feeling I had a resentment, and not necessarily at my brother, but because of the the things I received because I was his sister. There were some perks of being, you know, a sister of someone who's very popular, obviously, but there were also the downsides of not being seen as your own person, and that's what sucked. When you're at that age, you're trying to form your identity. You're trying to figure out who you are. Me now, I know I am a introverted person. I think I'm more borderline on an ambivert, which is kind of a combination of an extrovert and an introvert. I'm somewhere in the middle. At that time, I didn't realize what I was doing when I say, when I get nervous, I ignore people. I didn't understand that was part of social anxiety or, you know, these internal thoughts. I didn't realize that I don't personally like being around huge groups of people all the time. Sometimes I like to retreat to my shell, come in my room and just chill out and be with me, just me. Like, that's enough for me to recharge. But I also didn't understand that about myself at the time because I didn't fully understand who I was. You're not a loser. You're just figuring out who you are. All right, so let's move on to my fourth diary entry. This diary entry was written in terribly ugly ink. Do you guys remember those gel pens? Yeah, that's what I wrote this in. So it's a year and 2 days since I wrote in this journal. Diary, whatever. Last. My pen is annoying, so I might switch. I don't know. But yeah, I decided to write in this because I just need to vent and I really didn't feel like talking. So I'm just going to write. So yeah, it's my senior year in high school and it's going pretty good, but of course it could be better. But who wouldn't say that? So I'm not 5'8" anymore, more like 5'11", which is my current height. Yeah, I know, I'm tall, but it's cool. It just so happens to be that I'm sexy too, so that works in my advantage. Well, you know. You know. Being sexy, and I actually put the scarecrow quotes around it, being sexy isn't my issue, it's being social. Like I stated in my last entry a year and 2 days ago. Flip page. Whoa. So here's the page, this is what it looks like. This is what I say. This is sexy, beautiful, oh me. LOL. In my senior pic, obviously in my cap and gown, can you say model status? Which is ironic because I'm actually a model 6 years later. Anyways, so yeah, like I was saying, being social can be my downfall. For me, it depends on how I feel the day and what has happened in the day before in my personal life. And that's literally all I wrote. I wish I had known that being social is not a indicator into my happiness. Now as an adult, I completely know that I can be in a room by myself for very long periods of time and not feel any type of way about that. No matter how many people you hang out with, no matter how many popularity contests you win, no matter who you're comparing yourself to, you are going to change. And that's one thing I wish I really was conscious of in high school. I am 23, almost 24 years old now. Those things become far more small in your mind. I mean, some of those similar worries will still be there, but you won't feel the same. And if you do, if you still feel really sad or very intense emotions that aren't good, see somebody. Go see a therapist. Talk to somebody. Write stuff down more, because it will only help you figure out who you are. I hope you guys got full off of Food for Thought Friday this week. And, you know, I would actually like for you all to answer this question. What in high school did you think was a big deal, but now when you look back on it is a joke? Tell me how you've changed. I want to know. So leave that comment below and any other comments that you have. Please subscribe if you like, and like the video if you like this. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.